Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the shadows of the past, unearthing some of the most genuinely unsettling, mind-boggling and downright creepy historical facts that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the good old days. History isn't always neat timelines and glorious battles. Sometimes it's a dark, dusty attic filled with forgotten horrors. So dim the lights, maybe grab a comfort blanket, because we're counting down the top 10 creepiest historical facts. Number 10, the dancing plague of 1518. Imagine this. July 1518, Strasbourg, France. A woman named Frau Troffea starts dancing uncontrollably in the street. She can't stop. Within a week, dozens join her. Within a month, hundreds. They dance day and night, sometimes for weeks on end, collapsing from exhaustion, heart attacks or strokes. No one knows exactly why. Theories range from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning, but picture a town filled with people compelled to dance themselves to death. Chilling. Number 9, Victorian post-mortem photography. In the Victorian era, death was a much more intimate part of life. When a loved one died, especially a child, it was common practice to have their photograph taken. But not just any photograph. They'd often posed the deceased, sometimes with family members, propped up to look alive, their eyes sometimes painted open or using stands to hold them upright. These memento mori photos were a way to preserve a final image, but to our modern eyes they are profoundly unsettling. Number 8. The Great Molasses Flood of 1919. Now, this one sounds almost comical, but honestly, it was a true tragedy. In January of 1919, a massive storage tank holding over 2 million gallons of molasses burst in Boston, Massachusetts. A 25-foot wave of molasses, traveling at an estimated 35 miles per hour, surged through the streets. It crushed buildings, lifted cars, and tragically killed 21 people and injured 150. The sticky, sweet horror continued for weeks as the city was, quite literally, covered in molasses, and the smell lingered for decades. Imagine just for a moment being drowned by dessert. Number 7. The Terracotta Army's real purpose. The Terracotta Army in China is a magnificent archaeological find. Thousands of life-sized warrior statues, each with unique features, guarding the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. But here's the truly creepy part. These aren't just art. The emperor believed that these soldiers, along with chariots, horses and weapons, would protect him in the afterlife and help him rule. It's a massive, silent army, waiting eternally for their emperor's command in the dark underground. Number 6. Lobotomies for mental illness. For decades in the 20th century, a common treatment for severe mental illness was the lobotomy. Pioneered by figures like Dr. Walter Freeman, this procedure involved inserting an ice pick-like instrument into the brain, often through the eye socket, and wiggling it to sever connections. It was done on tens of thousands of people, often with devastating results, leaving patients with severe personality changes, catatonia, or even death. A truly dark chapter in medical history. Number 5. The Catacombs of Paris. Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a vast, labyrinthine ossuary, the Paris Catacombs. Starting in the late 18th century, due to overflowing cemeteries, the remains of over 6 million Parisians were exhumed and carefully arranged into walls, arches and decorative patterns in these underground tunnels. Walking through them, surrounded by millions of human bones, is an incredibly eerie and profound experience. A literal city of the dead beneath your feet. Number 4. Resurrection men or body snatchers. Before Anatomy Acts made it legal, medical schools in the 18th and 19th centuries desperately needed cadavers for dissection. This led to the rise of resurrection men or body snatchers. These individuals would sneak into cemeteries under the cover of night, dig up recently buried bodies and sell them to anatomists. Imagine, if you will, the horror of discovering your loved one's grave disturbed, their body gone. It was a terrifying reality for many. Number 3. The Black Death doctor's attire. The Black Death was one of the most devastating pandemics in human history. And one of the most enduringly creepy images from that time is the plague doctor. With their long, dark coats, wide-brimmed hats, and most famously, their bird-like masks with glass eye holes and a beak filled with aromatic herbs to ward off bad air or miasma. While meant to protect, these figures emerging from the smoky, diseased streets must have been terrifying harbingers of death themselves. Number 2, child labour in the Industrial Revolution. Now, while we tend to think of child labour as something from a distant past, the scale and conditions during the Industrial Revolution were honestly truly horrific. Children as young as 5 or 6 worked incredibly long hours in dangerous factories, mines and mills, often in cramped, unsanitary and unlit conditions. Injuries, deformities and early deaths were just rampant. The sheer exploitation and suffering of millions of tiny lives is a fact that should, well, chill us all. Number 1. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. So, February 1959, in the Ural Mountains of Russia, 9 experienced hikers set off on a challenging expedition. Weeks later, their tent was found ripped open from the inside. Their bodies were discovered scattered around, some partially clothed in those brutal sub-zero temperatures. Several had inexplicable internal injuries, fractured skulls, broken ribs, but, oddly enough, no signs of struggle or external wounds. One woman was even missing her tongue and eyes. To this day, the cause remains officially unknown. A chilling, unsolved mystery that spawned countless theories, from avalanches to paradoxical undressing to, well, something far more sinister. What truly happened on that mountain pass? And there you have it, folks. 10 historical facts that prove the past can be far stranger and far more terrifying than fiction. Which one creeped you out the most? Did we miss any of your favourite unsettling historical tidbits? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark side of history, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more historical deep dives, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, stay curious and maybe sleep with the lights on tonight. See you in the next one.